Antigraviator is a Wipeout-like, and the key I received from a promotional group representing the developers. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. The game releases on June 6th, and it is, like I said, a Wipeout-like, which pretty much demands zero explanation beyond that, because pretty much everybody knows what Wipeout is. Wipeout, Redout, many games that have come out since then that have kind of tried to go for this hover and speed based racing. It has been likened to F-Zero. Personally, as somebody who's only played the SNES version of F-Zero, I don't really see the, outside of the futuristic look, I guess, I don't really see the comparison there. F-Zero is all about super hard right 90-degree turns and everything. So it's definitely not that kind of game. It's much more of a smooth, a very smooth and fluid gameplay. I'm going to show you guys the hangar, which is where all the customization options and everything sit. Including colors. I actually colored this myself. You could tell it's pink and and kind of a light baby blue. And I'm also going to show you guys a video of me playing the game that I will live commentate over, because playing this game, it is a very high speed game. Playing this and also commentating, it's just going to be a whole bunch of just babble. So I'd much rather be able to focus on what it is I'm saying while we watch some gameplay that I recorded earlier. Now, they did provide me with another key, an unlock code, to basically unlock everything in the game if I wanted to, or at least give me like a ton of credits to spend on whatever I wanted. I'm typically pretty wary of those kinds of codes, only because I need to be able to experience the game's progression in a normal sense, the way that you would if you were to pick up this game, right? That only seems like the appropriate thing to do. Getting a cheat code that gives me everything in the game will allow me to experience all the cool stuff, but how did I get to that point, right? That's the main part, the progression element. And I will tell you right now, the progression element in this game is intensely frustrating. That's the only big gripe I have with it. Well, there's a couple, but the biggest one is definitely the progression. So I'll explain that in just a minute. Lower right corner, you can see it says my name, and also I have 5,500 credits. If I go down here to hangar, whoops, why not in here? Let me see. The controller stopped working? It looks like it did. Okay, well that's really strange. I can hear it clicking, but it's not doing anything. Huh. Already with problems. All right, so right here with the hangar, we're gonna click around the hangar here. Can I get my controller back? Good, controller's back. Good. You have a couple different things you can configure, right? And you buy them. So basic plating right here. This costs me nothing because it comes with it. If I want to unlock the next one, then it's 5,000, and the one down there that I already have unlocked, the bottom one here, is another 5,000. This one is the handling. Actually, it takes a hit on handling in exchange for acceleration, hull strength, speed reduction, all that good stuff. I'm actually like tempted to buy the next one, because the handling in this game is very difficult. It does require a lot of braking, which is very strange because the braking is very harsh. Like it talks about in the tutorial, it says, oh, hit air brakes in order to take tight turns. But in the game, when you actually play, holding the air brakes down for even more than like a half a second, you basically come to a full stop. They're very powerful, and it's very difficult to control using the triggers. As a matter of fact, everything on the controller feels like it's a direct mapping of the WASD keys, because everything seems very binary. When I lean left and right, it's just so incredibly sensitive that you feel like your plane or your racer is flopping around left and right super fast. And so you'll see in the video once I show you that like I'm constantly whipping back and forth, and the reason why is because the sensitivity on the controller is so high that it's very difficult to basically to control the keep from like sliding all over the place. So let's see, there's more here. Not just the grav, I guess that it is, but also, or there's plating, the transmission, the wing, and of course the actual grav, which is the ship itself. So the grav is the ship. The next one up costs 50,000 credits. This next one is 500,000 credits. So this is a lot of credits, right? And going back to the wing, you can see 0, 15,000, and then 15,000. And they have their own stats and everything associated with them. And then the transmission is basically the same thing. So, appearance. Let's go back to appearance, actually. This is where you go through and you can change the colors. Primary, secondary, decal, dissolve. This is kind of cool. Made mine yellow, so it kind of like stands off from the actual color of the other thing there. Edge. This is basically just, we can actually click around. You can see it. Kind of change the edge right there. Go back up. Let's go to secondary. This is, again, you can kind of go through, just kind of play with this a little bit. Did I leave my... There it is. Boom. And so that's pretty much it. You can color your different ships. Okay, so click the options real quick. Just to show you guys, because they did this, there's an update that was actually released just like 30 minutes ago, so I just want to click through here and make sure there's nothing that's been dropped in. You can see the controls are very simple. I'll explain those actually when we get to play. Screen resolution, there is no FOV control, and they don't really plan on putting it in, I guess. You can turn off the motion blur if you like, but the FOV is really kind of a problem with some people. It's a lot of barrel, there's a lot of barrel distortion in the corners, and also it's a very, like a fisheye type look to kind of give the impression of lots of speed. Audio, pretty much just typical stuff. Post-process effects, blur, right, all that. Gameplay itself, bot names, all that. So it's just basic stuff, super basic stuff here. Now, go up to campaign. I'll explain this before we actually play the video here. When you get in, first off, this is where you start, Novice League. And you have 4 courses you go through, and there's different types of courses. There's single race, single on the death race, right? Okay, let's go back over this one. Single, countdown, and death race. There's actually more than that, I believe. I think there's one that I've not yet seen. No, just those. There's just basically different types of races. Depending on, some of them are elimination. Basically, if you're the last person after a certain number of laps, then you're going to then you'll be eliminated. Some of them just regular racing, right? Single is obviously just regular racing, just place the highest you can. Look at the top here, though. It says that the entry fee is free for the first one. You can win 250 credits for third, 500 for second, 1,000 for first place. This one is 3,000, 5,000, 8,000. That's a huge jump. No idea what this one is. I'm never going to see it because I'm never going to play this game after this. You'll see why here shortly. But yeah, there's a bunch of leagues, right? Crazy. Tons and tons and tons of leagues. Probably awarding hundreds of thousands of credits on each one. But also the entry fee. This is the biggest gripe I have about this game, is the entry fee. I have 5,500 credits. Remember, the next upgrade that I could unlock is like, what, 15,000 credits or something? And so in order for me to get that 15,000 credits, I would have to run this 3 times and win, right? Well, I'm assuming I'm at 0, right? Right now at this point, I can run it probably twice and actually and win, and then I'll have the 15,000 credits I need because I'm at 5,500 right now. But I just ran this in the video that you're about to see. I ran this, cost me 2,000 to get in, and I was struggling because the AI sometimes it's very hit and miss. You could go from 8th place to 1st place like that, and also vice versa because you just ran into like a silly trap, and the traps are it's just, you know, a lot of times very frustrating because it takes away from the speed of the game. I barely made it across the finish line in the end and got 3rd place, and then I ended up walking away with a net total of 1,000 credits. It was almost a waste of time. 1,000 credits for 3rd place because of the entry fee. So the entry fee, I'm the developer, if you're watching this, get rid of it. It is a slap in the face, because if I did not, I don't even know what happens. If you get less than or beyond 3rd place, 4th, 5th, or 8th, whatever, then you just lose 2,000 credits. And what happens if I get down to basically none, right? Where I have, like, you know, if I lose 2 more times, if I don't place 2 more times, then I'm basically stuck going back through here, and I have to build myself up. I'll have to play this one, and I have to get 1st place at least twice, and it takes about 20 to 25 minutes to get through all 4 of these races. Maybe 20 minutes to get through all 4 of these races. It is ridiculous. It is it's infuriating is what it is. So, let me actually go ahead and I'll mute this guy, and we'll switch over to I know this is kind of an awkward way of doing it, but this is the best way of doing it, I feel. Switch to this, and what we'll do is we'll go through, and I got my there you go. That's all of my giant Premiere file. This is the best way to display it for you guys, I think. So let me go and actually get this guy queued up here, and I'll explain to you guys how some of the layout here and everything works. So first off, they go for kind of like a distance style of HUD, where you have a lot of stuff on the back of your bumper, right? You have the placement, 8th place, you can say 8th place, the distance I've traveled, the speed that I'm traveling, and the dots underneath my place. Those dots represent boost pickup. So you right there, click, 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 right there. Those little cylinders that I picked up, those are my are boost, and I basically hit the A button in order to boost forward. You'll also see at the very top it says trap available, right? When you cross over a certain point, you can drop a trap, and now I have a green shield over myself. The green shield represents every time you trigger a trap, it makes you immune, so that way you don't run into your own traps. Unfortunately, or take damage from your own traps, I should say. Unfortunately, because of the nature of some of the traps, whereas some of them are like blocks, like they're blocks in the road, right? If I were to hit one of those, even if it was my trap, okay, and I had my shield up, that way I don't take any damage, I would still be stopped, and then people would fly right by me. Because catch-up is absolutely on. Catch-up is 100% on, and it's very strong. There's actually a point during, not this race, but the next race, where I am hauling so much ass, and I still had somebody catch up to me, just out of nowhere. So here we go. Let's go and stop here. Let's go and fast forward. We'll get to another race here. This is the next race that I did. So, you see that little flip right there? That flip is basically a way for you to dodge things, right? You do have health. You can absolutely take enough damage to actually blow up, and it can happen very, very quickly because of the speed that you're traveling at. Again, notice the whipping back and forth. Obviously, some of that is just the nature of the way the vehicle turns. It's going to kind of turn, kind of lean into it. But I want you to know that it is so incredibly sensitive that it makes it very difficult to control. And part of it, I don't know if it's even necessarily possible to correct, because the way that they have the controller designed, it essentially is like, it feels like it's logarithmic, where it's like just a little bit of turn doesn't really do anything, but then when you push it like about halfway, you're almost at 75 to 80% of your actual lean, if that makes any sense. Upper left corner is basically just your lap time, shows that somebody's been eliminated there. Upper right corner shows your best lap, last lap. Trap warning here. Let's see if this is one of the ones that I want to point out here. Okay, this was something that came up behind me and just hit me and slowed me down, right? Again, at the top, you can see the chevron aiming to the right, the arrow aiming to the right. That is me. The other dots represent the other racers. Again, no matter how fast you go, these guys will always catch up. Here's a trap right here. We're going to activate this thing, and we'll see where it activated the trap here. Trying to like flip left and right in order to avoid the walls. Flipping left or right is actually done by moving the right thumbstick, so it's pretty conveniently located. Personally, I think that it would have been better off on the bumpers, given that you don't really have anything else you do other than slap left and right. So naturally, it should be on the left and right bumpers because you're using the left and right triggers in order to do the acceleration and the brakes. So yeah, we're gonna watch this for a little bit. You can just see it's a little bit of a struggle, and then. We're not going to watch the whole thing because this is a 9-minute race. An absurd amount of time. Look at that. Just click the wall. It just stopped me in my tracks. It is an absurd amount of time. I'm in first, by the way. When did I pass the other person? Hold on a second. We're going to rewind a little bit. So let's see. I didn't even see when I passed the last guy. Let's see. I'm in first here. In first. First. This is actually a pretty good way of doing this. Here, a second. Where did I do? Where did I pass you? Okay, he's way far ahead. Now I'm ahead of him. He must have blown up or something. Even the AI is not immune. Let's watch that dot at the top right in front of me. There he is. First Quinto. Oh, then he just appeared behind me. Okay, maybe he hit a trap or something. I guess I did hit trap button. So that's how quickly. I mean, your health will regen. Your shield will regen. There's no like meter or anything that I've seen where it's filling up to show you how much shield you have. It's pretty much all graphically done, where it actually shows your damage based off of like if there's red around your entire screen. That means that you're about to blow up. All right, it's going to fast forward here like what, 3 minutes. We're almost done with the match at this point. So here we go. I am way ahead. So this is the problem here. Okay, this is a massive issue with this gameplay, with this particular gameplay type. This is the, I think, the death race here. I'm in first place, basically from pretty much this point here, which is, this is like the, let's just say this is the 0 mark, right? This is, yeah, so pretty give or take, right? And the end of the race is here, right here. I maintain a lead. This is now 5 minutes later. 5 minutes. I maintain a lead for 5 minutes. It's just ridiculous. At some point, the game should just say, look, this guy's never going to catch up. just eliminate him. I think we did like 3 more laps, because look, upper right corner, best lap, 1 minute 14 seconds. And so I did what, 4 more laps in the amount of time that it took for the game to finally say, okay, fine, I yield, the game's over, right? It's just ridiculous. If the races were shorter, like fixed laps, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it so that here's first place, right? They're trying to make it seem so that, or make it elimination where, you know, the last person gets eliminated and all that stuff. But at some point, it needs to stop. It needs to stop, man. These are your stats that basically show like different pickups you've gotten, what kind of traps you've done, and so here we go. So I'm actually in I'm in second place here. Just barely, though. I'm going to go back, actually, and show you the stats of the last run here. This is the last race where I actually placed in 6th place, right? This is the first one that I showed you guys as we were going through. You can see it right here. I'm up here in the crowd. We're approaching the end of the match here. I'm trying my hardest to kind of get through, but I mean, look, everything's blinking. I'm getting slowed down. People are flying by me. I got hit by another trap. This guy's dragging me to the wall. I try to bump him off me. Trying to get on those speed boosts. I'm still in 5th place. I'm sorry, now I'm 6th place. I'm just barely behind these guys. Out of time. That's it. So you could see there's a lot of carnage that can happen. And unfortunately, a lot of the carnage just takes away from your speed. It's supposed to be a fast-paced game. It's supposed to be a fast-paced game, man. This kills me. As a big fan of wipeouts, here you go. This is the final race in this tournament here. In this cup. I don't actually remember what it is I placed. Wait, actually, I'm pretty sure I know what I placed. So we're obviously all grouped up here. This is a relatively short race comparison. This race actually is, I believe, a third. Looking at the timeline, it's actually a third of the length of the last race. And the discrepancy there between a 3-minute race and a 9-minute race has something. That means something's wrong with that mode. 100% something is wrong with that mode. So here we go, 5th place, trying to just basically get my way up. Here's the next lap here. I'm 3.3 seconds behind the next person up, and a couple seconds ahead of the person behind me. You don't really get to see that stuff because the action is super fast. If you want a super fast game, a super fast race, wipeout style game, that again is pretty difficult. The AI doesn't let you push them around really. Then this is totally a game for you, right? But you have to be ready to punish yourself with the progression elements of, you know, maybe you get squeezed into 5th place or 4th place and you end up losing that deposit, the entry fee. Just silly. I understand entry fee in the real world, yes. In a game, no. It's people flying by me. There's actually a point here. I hope I get to it. There's a point here where I am hitting all of these speed boosts. I am triggering my turbos. I am basically doing everything. And for some reason, the guys keep up. It's a strange type of like parallel mechanic where I believe they want you to engage with each other by rolling into each other, so the game will keep them up with you, alongside you. But I'm like breaking out every single speed, everything I possibly can, and they will still stay up with me. Trap available. So did I trigger that in time? I don't think so. Well, I got hit because somebody else triggered it. By the way, yeah, I believe that the traps are actually all kind of the global. So whoever hits the button first, because there's a lot of times the trap's available and somebody else gets it before I do. Did I get this one? Yes. So this guy Quinto again, he's gonna get ahead of me. At some point here, I actually start really pushing it. Yeah, and the game will just keep them up with me. It feels like an arcade game. You know, it's something that's designed to eat your quarters, is what it feels like. And it's unfortunate, but this is the feel. I mean, like, ugh, Jesus, I'm glad that stayed in. Good. It is unfortunately a very frustrating title. It's a game that I've, you know, I again, as somebody who liked Wipeout quite a bit, I have played, and even for this series, or any for Breakfast series, I have played a number of Wipeout games. Because I'm a fan, and this is definitely not my favorite. Here we go. So I got 6th place, just barely making it through, I guess. Total time was 3.5 minutes. The last one was 9 minutes. It's ridiculous. I got 3rd place here. So this is where you see where I got now. I'm sitting at 5,500 because my net total was 1,000 gained from that. Look, you won 3,000. Oh God, man, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, it just needs to go. It just needs to go. Like, the entry fee, please, developers, please, please, just get rid of it. It just doesn't make any sense. But that's it. That's Antigraviator. It is a game that has potential, like many games. But whether that potential is ever realized is a completely different story. Progression is just painful. Some of the modes need to be trimmed. Desperately need to be trimmed. Sensitivity on the controller needs to be worked. I'm going to go back here to the beginning while we kind of sign out here. Controller sensitivity needs to be reworked, or at least add some way in the options to make those adjustments. There's no cockpit mode, which I know some people do like. I personally do like cockpit mode, especially for these super high speed style races. Drop the trap. Oh, I missed it. Damn, I'm slow. I am like 90 minutes into the game. Actually, almost 2 hours in the game, I think, at this point. And the blocks dropping all over the place. Player trapped, meaning that the person probably either hit it or exploded. But anyways, yeah, like 90 minutes into the game, and I'm still not past the second cup. I understand they probably don't. They want to make the game challenging, but I feel like they're doing it in the wrong way, and that's pretty much it. So, the game releases on June 6th. It's called Antigraviator. I do not have a price point for it yet. So I don't want to speculate what that might be. If it is anywhere over the $20 mark, I will definitely not recommend the title. If it's at $19.99 or below, then yeah, I definitely feel like if there's something that you feel after watching this is something you're interested in, then please feel free to go and check it out for yourself. I actually believe they have a demo on Indiegogo. If you Google Antigraviator, you go there. Do not go to their website, though. I went to Antigraviator, Googled it, and I found their actual website, clicked on it, and actually got a redirect to a malware site. So I don't know if that's their site or if it's somebody else's, but please be careful when googling their stuff. She's just pushing the character out of the way. Thank God for the green shield here. But that's it. The game's called Antigraviator. My name is Mike B. This is Indie for Breakfast. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.